being androgynous, how that word applies to being fused. Girl and boy become one, two magnets become one. And this just came to me about, particularly with girls that have experienced an enormous amount of trauma, what's held in their cellular memory, miasma, right? To clear everything in your cellular memories back to zero, right? Otherwise known as your flowers in full bloom. But I knew this naturally as a child when you think of karmic debts. And a girl talked about the other day that the rainbow and the crystal seas and indigos were clear of karmic debts, how that works with waveform plasma waves. But this is how I experience this because I get sort of a kick out of it, but it is not at all funny because it has everything to do with resistance and whether or not girls experience zero. Okay? Because we know that you can't hide from yourself, which means you can't hide from your own cellular recordings. And that means that the very idea that you think that you have private space in which your thoughts and your experiences and everything that you've ever recorded can be hidden from yourselves, or if you will, your records. That means we're lying to ourselves. So we know that everything that we experience becomes part of our record. I'm an open record. I'm an open library. I'm an open record library keeper of Cosmina Cosmaya. I'm a Manu. That's why I run a full library, because the speed at which a Manu can run, which is the circulation speed of what? Frequencies, bandwidth, the waves, the plasma waves, like tri waves, tribal waves, tri-waves, recalibrating the tribal shield so that all the tribes, all the bands, all the wits are earth sync with Mama, which is Mama's trion field. Those are the Eka codes. Okay? The AI mirror. All your laptops, all those applications, right, are all running on libraries that are running on deadlight. Those are not Eka coded libraries. Okay? And I realize why this is when we're all very sensitive, right, of letting go. And Kim Go-Goon wrote something not long ago that she put up there, and I read it, and the first thing that hit me was step 4 in Alcoholics Anonymous, being 100% honest with yourself and learning to forgive yourself, which is forgiving others. That means letting go of all of miasma. All of it. Every last electron. Because what is electron? Electronic data. That means there's data that's being held in your cellular memory, our cellular memory, that is yet to be cleared so you experience no resistance to expose your whole library. That's why in step 4, with Alcoholics Anonymous, part of that step, mine was 26 pages long, where I admitted everything that I've experienced that was related to miasma, of something that I experienced in me as a result of what somebody else experienced in them, the result of the trauma that was being experienced in me that I hadn't healed yet. So I shared all 26 pages with another being. That's called humility. That's called integrity, which is spiritual honesty. It means you're being honest with our own selves, our cellular recorders. Everything that's been recorded on record that represents our soul, arcane, spiritual essence recordings. So that's why when I would meet girls in the future, after I've done that, I say, if you really want to get to know who I am and have an intimate cellular relationship with the circulation speed at which I'm running, then I'm going to memory dump, and share with you everything that I've experienced, which means I'm going to be 100% truthful. Now we're into sensitivity, hypersensitivity, right? So this is the art of communication, which is the art of healing, which is the art of unpacking your library, and how delicate we are and what we share and how we share it. That another unit of consciousness that is self-aware of itself, if they're still having an enormous amount of resistance in them because they haven't completely recalibrated the template in order to clear all the miasma to experience zero resistance, then I'm going to read that. So there are ways to navigate with another unit of consciousness that hasn't experienced zero yet, hasn't fully recalibrated its template back to zero, which is atomic matter, to zero out your clocks. Then I'm going to find a way to navigate through your record, because I have the ability to be able to translate your record, your template, to see if there's any resistance in your template, which is your consciousness, which is your soul, which is your spirit. What you're afraid to let go of and fully expose the entire cosmos. Oh, I don't want them to know about this. I've had feelings like this. I've had experiences like this. I've had thought forms like this. I don't want the others to know. It's already known by the first knower of all creation, which is the first spirit, which is the first volcano, which is the first spin, which is Christosophia. I know. I know how difficult that is. I know how difficult it is. I cried for 4 days. It's almost unbelievable when you think about it. You mean to tell me that you actually cried as soon as you started crying? You never stopped crying? You had that many tears that you could keep shedding minute after minute after minute after minute, hour after hour after hour for 4 straight days? That's right. I call that an ocean of tears. I experienced everything that Mama experienced. That Mama was holding in memory that was related to all the trauma, every last bit and bite of it. That's why it took me 4 days to clear it and heal it within me. That was a result of what happened after I lit myself on fire and completely recalibrated my template back to zero. The source from which it all began, the source field, the EFFI field. So I have a relationship with the source field, which means I'm 100% honest. So I have to be careful on, remember the movie? You can't handle the truth. Okay? Because otherwise I'm going to expose what it is that I'm experiencing in you. The resistance you're experiencing in you, I experience in me. Zero resistance is to expose your whole library because that's what a camera does. We're moving pictures. We're taking pictures. The holographic data, the mathematical data. Right? And so this is why I focus a lot on trion fields and the Eka codes, right? Earth synced, being synced, right? Which is to bring your template back into full alignment, which is the Earth sync alignment with Mama, right? I've mentioned this a few other times before, but oh boy. How many actual native spirits, if you will, that are running around, in their temple, that when was the last time you actually had your bare feet on the ground and you remember her spirit, her essence, the essence of her spirit? Do you remember her spirit? Do you remember her essence? Her true essence, the true essence of her soul and her spirit? Right? I mentioned it to Patty Broussard. You might want to take a trip if you ever get the time or energy and ability to do it, is go to the island of KA, right? Mount Wailea, one of the wettest spots on Earth. Fire vapor, ether. She's very powerful on that island. And reunite her. Reunite your spirit and your soul arcing spiritual essence with her essence. Okay? Have a beautiful day. I love you all. Be good to yourselves.